Welcome to We Are the Remedy, where each week we highlight a person from the community who embodies the idea of people helping people.
Hi, this is Mike Pritchard. We are at Desire to Inspire Studios with Miss Tori Krupp and my good buddy Trevor Henley, who we have been working together for quite some time, almost 21 years, 22 years. And so I have learned a lot of things in life, but I think one of them is that the great gift that we can get is we can take care of our caretakers. And what we do here on We Are the Remedy is we try to find solutions. We're your neighbors, we're your friends, we're not your therapists, we're not your, social workers. We're people who love you and want the best for you and want to find ways that we can emotionally and spiritually support you. And I'm not talking religion, I'm talking spirituality, things that we can do to help make things better in your life by helping emotionally support you. That's what we do. And we find solutioneering is a really important way to do that. So today we have Miss Tori Krupp, and we're going to let her tell her story. But Trevor, I want to say I'm always honored to be with you, man. You teach me more, I think, than I ever taught you, and I appreciate being with you. Miss Tori, could you tell us a little bit about your journey in life and what transpired?
So, I'm a long member of this community. I deliver babies. It's what I'm known for. I teach people how to have babies. I'm known for that.
But you're like a professor. You've written books.
Well, and I wrote a couple books. But I love that. It's my passion.
Yeah.
And then some years ago, I met the man of my dreams in an operating room in the hospital. And then some years later, we had what has been called the most wanted baby. And then my man of my dreams died of cancer unexpectedly, quickly, when my little one, Alexander, was 5. And so then he and I had our life. And so my journey now is I lost my Xander. I don't know how. I don't exactly know when, but I lost him to drugs easily available to our kids here. And he died just after his 19th birthday. And I wish to not be quiet about that.
Right. We understand.
I don't want to be quiet. I don't want to deny. I don't want to say it didn't happen. Really, I'm as baffled as others about why it happened, because
it was totally unexpected.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so I have now stepped into a new
realm,
a new space. Yeah.
Yeah, the teacher has now become the person who's learning as much as she possibly can to try and process that. So.
And I have to say, there's a small group of us here in our small county, but I'm telling, I gotta say, we lose a kid every 3 or 4 weeks from suicide or an overdose. We lose a teenager.
What does it do? I mean, just for you, and I just want to ask this. I love you, and we've been together before, and we've had conversations. Explain to people what it does to be a person who's bringing life onto the planet, doing everything, and is in love with life, and writes books about bringing life onto the planet, is professorial, is a nursing person who is a great teacher of this to families and parents. And then in quick order, you lose the 2 most important parts of your life. And the journey is now for you, unfortunately, after all of this life bringing, is to deal with the deaths that have happened. And what do you say, if you don't mind my asking? I'm not trying to be personal.
I don't mind. No.
How do you process to yourself, dear?
I have to go to some people.
Right.
I go to some people who I have to say, why am I here?
Right.
Who then say, well, maybe you didn't get to pick, but maybe this is, and I say, well, I didn't. No, I would have so happily just been a Marin mom with my kid.
Yes.
I could have just done lacrosse.
Yeah.
I don't need to be this. And they say, well, maybe that's just who you ended up being. That's who you are. So I have to
How do you accept
sit with that. I'm not sure I have.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But could anybody?
I know. I'm
Could
not.
Anybody?
I'm not sure I have, but I get to decide because I've been pretty open
Yes, you have.
about my just this struggle that you either get to, because really, quite honestly, and this sounds really kind of awful, but you can just be done. It's not
You
that
can
hard.
surrender and just.
It's not that hard.
Right. Right.
But if you don't do that, then you might as well do something. So
I get it. Yeah.
So
I think Trevor.
Yeah. I mean, going back to the asking someone why.
Right.
Why am I in this place? I mean, my to a couple of questions with that. I mean, I remember at one point when I was considering suicide myself, I was in that place. I was like, I got nothing left. I can't do anything right. And then I got to this point, and fortunately, like we said before, my aunt took her life to suicide, and I remembered how hard that was for me, and I think that was probably one of the only reasons, maybe not one of the only, but it's actually, I'd say it's probably one of the major reasons why, like, I didn't go through with any of the many ideas that I had, was because I remembered what it did to my parents, what it did to my mom, what it did to me, and I still wear this chain, and she gave this to me in high school, and I've only taken it off twice in my life,
Right.
and so going back to asking the why am I in this place? I mean, I still don't know why exactly I'm in this place, other than right now because we're here listening to you, we're here giving people a voice. So when you were going and asking your friends, why are you here? Is it more of why are you in this place because of what's happened, or why are you in this place because of where you're going from this point?
So I it's kind of a funny story, but when Xander, it's sort of funny, I may have told you this, but when the drugs first started,
Right.
I have a close friend at work who's since retired, but I joined a Black Baptist church
Right.
in the middle of Bayview, San Francisco.
Right.
That's my church.
I get it.
And I love them, and I'm Sister Tori to them.
Right.
And I got baptized in the pool. I
Right.
mean, I grew up as Catholic can be.
Right.
And they're my people. And I
You could
found
feel them.
I could feel them. So that's who I go to. And that's who says to me, well, Jesus this and Jesus that. And
But
Jesus,
they are
Jesus
they
is
are,
just
they
telling
are
you.
a community that has suffered incredible amounts of grief and can identify
Yeah.
completely with the struggle that you are in, the journey that you are on. And not only because they're so brilliant at the same time with enduring, which is what you seek, to stay alive. And like I said to the young folks this morning, being a person that has a love of example, you're an example of love. And you have to do that for others, you have to be the example of love to yourself and have self-love first. And you know that. And it's hard. And I feel, with every breath, I feel your grief. But I want you to know, if we just but endure, we teach what we learn. Aeschylus said, with every drop of pain, on the human heart, wisdom grows. And you can save thousands, look at me, thousands of lives. You are a teacher, you're a professor of medicine, you're a professor of healing and giving of life, right? You are. And you go to that community, get nurtured and comforted, because they can so identify, Tori, with all that you have dealt with. So much pain, so much sorrow, so much sadness in the amount of things that happen in communities. And faith is the pathway out and to the light. And as I tell kids, don't wait for the light at the end of the tunnel. Become the light going through the tunnel, glow in the dark as you go. And you're trying to just simply, look at me, my loving friend, find your glow. Find your glow. And when you get nurtured at the church, when they sing the hymns of praise and you're in the middle of it, you can feel it. It's healing. Trevor and I know that because we're both in, taking care of ourselves now that we've had our struggles with self-destructiveness and depression. But for me, I can see clearly that you have things that you can teach to others and save the lives and the suffering of other mothers and other fathers. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, what do you say to people about some of the? What were some of the triggers that you think you could have noticed, didn't notice with Xander? Yeah.
I know now. He slept a lot after school.
Kind of an early warning sign of
Before
depression.
dinner,
Right.
and I thought that's a teenage kind of thing. Right. He later openly said, "No, Mom, I was depressed." Yeah. Like I thought, okay, well, teenagers sleep. That's what they do. Like I didn't know. I think for me, I have a huge feeling about the drug use.
Right.
In this county, I have a huge, and I will openly say I'm going to fight for my endless days to say that marijuana.
It was the gateway to his.
It was, and
okay.
it's not, but it's because it's so high, it's so potent now. It's not what we had. We don't need shops at the corner of the high school. We don't need shops at the edge of, we don't need we can get pot however we want as adults. But for kids, it's very, very hard to navigate.
Yeah.
And that's my thing is it's really hard to navigate.
So let me ask you something, and this is powerful. You get to say whatever, look at me now. You get to say whatever you feel.
I will.
Okay?
You know that.
No, I do.
You know it.
And so, you're Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Ann Arbor.
Not only Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. So, there's thousands of people out there from the Bay Area laughing right now. Yeah, Michigan. So, let me ask you. Do you think, and I'm because I love you, I'm just saying, does the anger drive you more than the injustice of what happened and not knowing it? Is it this isn't a therapy session. I'm just asking as a dad and a grandfather. Is it the injustice? Is it the guilt? What most drives you to know, to endure, to stay alive? Because you're clearly a remarkable spirit, dear. Look at me now. You're a remarkable spirit. You're still a healer. And now you're going to have to heal yourself, right?
Yeah.
You have to heal yourself first, and then you endure. You have given a gift to me and Trevor today. He would be the first one to admit it. We love you. But how do you deal with all this and then try to gently heal yourself inside, right? And take care of the you in you that you have to be able to get back up. You have to rise. It's important for you to rise and resurrect yourself and resurrect that incredible healer in you that healed so many. You do remember that when I was with you, I was overwhelmed in my living room by the fact that you had been one of the nurses that delivered Robin Williams' child. And I was remarkably overwhelmed by that moment, that I had felt his presence in the room. So on a spiritual level, I always felt like he and Xander and your husband were together in heaven and reaching out to us to get us to, they got you to me, and I got you to this moment. And now we're here. How do you help yourself, and how do you tell other moms and dads that have, and grandparents that have to endure these hard grieving moments? What are ways we can help? What are things you did for yourself to take care of you, to start coming back to teach other folks in the community?
Well, I haven't been very good at taking care of myself.
Okay.
It's not.
You haven't done enough, but you're...
Well, no,
right?
but
Okay.
I'm going to say something now that I'm saying really publicly. 3 weeks ago, I checked myself in
Good.
12 debates for 6 days.
Because you needed to do that.
Yep.
For those
And
that
it's
don't
important
know,
to...
for those of us that don't know,
So I checked myself into the mental health section of Alta Bates Hospital in Oakland.
Why is it important to reach out for that kind of help?
Well, because I was seeing only dark. But I wanted to, no, there's more we have to do. There's light. There's things I have to say. There's things I have to do. And
You're not done.
I'm not done. But yeah, based on a work situation, I made a decision to take a leave of absence for a short time, due to an unfortunate work situation, and I was off and said, I don't feel okay.
Right.
And I'm gonna go. And it's not something I ever wish to do again, but it was the right thing to do.
What did you learn about helping yourself? What did you learn from it?
What I learned was, I had a little bit of a timeout.
Yes.
Then what I learned was I have some tools to come back to.
Right.
But bigger than that, and it was what you were asking before, I see myself and I see others. Thank you. When you have a voice, if we can share a voice,
Right.
we should. I'm in a couple of different groups, grief groups, and I say this with love, but I don't want to be, it's been 8 years and I'm still saying the same thing. I want to have made some difference.
You want to move on, and this is your way to move on. And you took time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that's so important to do that? Because you're a smart guy.
I know when I got to that point, I didn't have a choice to take time for myself. Universe made me basically a cripple. I couldn't stand for more than 4 hours. I couldn't utilize my body at all. And for the first time in my life, I had to use my brain and take inventory of my life.
Wow.
Other than that, I was a functional stoner since I was 14. And most of high school, all the way up until, well, now it's 8 years clean and sober. But the time of my life that was either the darkest place or the best place that I've ever been in my life was because I was only able to take time for myself and take inventory of why am I here. It all boiled down to why am I here? Why am I still alive? I should have died at least 5 or 6 times that I can remember, and that was just in a short stint. I have a scar on my head from diving off a 10 feet of water into 3 feet of water, 10-foot cliff into 3 feet of water, and hit a rock. Like, I shouldn't be alive by all means, but it took me the time.
Kind of like a near-death experience, like. Almost.
No, it was just I was an idiot.
That's a better answer. I like that answer a whole lot better.
Yeah, I was just an idiot. I mean, I hit my head and I asked for a sock to go to the hospital, and someone's like, no, we'll drive you. But, but during that time, I literally went through my entire life. I went through all of the sequences where I should have passed away. I went through all of the sequences where I made decisions, and it led me down a different path, a darker path, so to speak. It led me down to a path where the harder I wanted to ignore it, the more, actually we were talking about it a second ago, the more life hit me over the head with a 2x4. And I've now recognized that, life treats me with a 2x4. It gives me one that's felt tipped, and then it gives me one that's not felt, and then it gives me one with spikes and nails and everything. And it says, if you don't get this message, you're gonna hit the bottom.
Yeah.
Again.
No, yeah,
And so
it's
I think going back to why it's so important to take time for yourself, if you don't do it, life will do it for you.
Right.
That's the hardest, and not by any design other than it needs to.
And it's funny, I have a couple, I'm involved kind of in the community
Right.
now.
Educating families and
But I'm
yeah.
also not, I have been very also open about, I am not one of my friends, the angel moms. We see a little heart-shaped rock on the pavement, and my son left that for me. I'm like, no, that's just a rock on the pavement. Right. I don't get that. Well, okay, I got kind of knocked off my socks, I've got to say. So I come back from the hospital. It's Memorial Day. I have a kitten, and she's a sweet kitten, Ruthie, and she is she's a sweet, she's a new kitten. And it's midnight, and my phone's ringing, and I see it's a Marin phone number, but it's midnight. I'm not going to answer it. Now there's a knock on the door, and so I'm up in my bathrobe. It's midnight, and there's a guy on my stairwell saying, I'm really sorry, Ruthie's dead. And I can see her. She's on the street. And he hands me her collar, and I'm really confused. So I said, did you hit her? He said, no, I was by, and okay, so now I go next door to my next door neighbor, Ellie, because I'm crying and said, I can't deal with her. Next day, we're going to bury Ruthie. My phone numbers are all gone in my phone. He says his name's Jonesy. He lives up the street. I believe in my heart.
Yeah.
I saw an angel.
Got it.
For the first time.
Right.
I don't think he was human.
Right.
I don't think I'll ever see him again. I don't think there was nothing on that cat's tag that had my address. I believe that angel came to me.
Came to see you.
So I gotta say, now I'm on a little slightly different path. Because
Right.
I have not been open to it.
Yeah.
And I'm now like, my heart got like burst open.
Right.
So.
And yes.
So I don't. I'm sorry. She was in it, but I don't think Jonesy's gonna ever show up again. And I just like then wait. Oh wait, it gets even better. Can I just add a couple
of
other
course.
quick things? So if neither of you are doing anything, on July 25th, I made the decision to have Xander's memorial.
Okay.
I'm going to have a memorial for him.
Good.
Um,
That's a good thing for
it
all.
needs to be. It's the COVID. It's
Yeah, needs to
and
be.
I didn't realize it, but the hall that we're going to have it at is Alexander Hall at the seminary.
Things happen for
What's
a
up
reason.
with that? You know.
Yeah.
So there's just been like sort of this. Oh wait, and the last thing is the only place we ever ate. That was our special place. Again, I'm really rambling.
No, you're not.
No.
You're making sense.
Ruth Chris Steakhouse in San Francisco. That boy loved that filet mignon.
Yeah.
Right? So
Not a lot of teens that don't, right?
every special occasion was there. And I read yesterday, they closed. And they closed, and I'm very, I'm not somebody who wants to, like, think about the day he died.
Right.
Because I don't care to ever remember it, quite
Right.
frankly. But they closed on the day he died forever in San Francisco.
Wow.
The same day.
Yeah.
I'm holding in my heart a new place where I think there are angels.
Yes.
And I believe in a way I didn't before because I couldn't see, because I wasn't getting like the little thing,
Signs.
the little sign.
Right.
No,
The
but
typical sign, so
I
to
just-
speak, if there's a typical sign.
but I do, and I don't want to be done.
Good.
I don't want to be done.
And let me just say this to you, okay? What you've done for yourself today in this circle of deciding to honor him, decided to get help for yourself, and decided to talk about Jonesy showing up for your grief, because we're never intended to understand the sorrows of loss. Never. And I've dealt with quite a bit of it, as we do in medicine and nursing. I was a medic. I was a probation officer. I lost many good friends who were cops and firemen and paramedics. But what I can tell you is part of the process of healing is exactly what you did today, my friend. Mm-hmm. Exactly what you did. And if every nurse and every medicine person could see this and know that these things that we see in life, from death and from mourning and from grief, like I said to Margaret Cho, the comedian, don't grieve Robin and don't mourn Robin, be Robin for others. And that's what we'll do for Xander. We'll be Xander that day for you and all the others that come to visit him. And I think we should be done.
I have
think.
one
Yeah,
question
go.
that could
Yeah.
be very uncomfortable, but
It's important.
it's racking my brain. And is there a message of gratitude in any shape or form that you would give to Xander now?
Gratitude to him.
To him for what he brought into your life.
Well, I mean, I haven't met with the appropriate psychic yet to beat him upside the head, because I'd like to.
Take it, go for it. It's
I'd like
one.
to
Over
hit
10.
him upside the head and say, "What the hell?" You know. One part of me would say, if I knew I would have this path, I would have been okay not having had a child. It's one part of me.
Because it hurts so bad.
Because the pain is so much. But,
Then him,
you know,
him.
there's this little, yeah, I mean, what I say to him, and I talk to him a lot.
Yeah.
But, shoot, darn it. And I will send both of you this photograph.
Right.
There's a photograph of him at 6 weeks old. And he's 6 weeks old, taking pictures. And that face is like, what? What do you want me to do? I mean, it's a baby it's not right. It's not a baby. It's a baby that's been here 100 lifetimes.
Teaching.
So what I will say is, you made me. I'm. I don't know if I can say thankful, but I can try to say thankful for. I have work to do. We have work to do, and he's left it to me. And he was a little pain in the ass because he left as a child. I mean, as a child.
Yeah.
And that really bums me out. But there's when I get, when I believe in Jonesy, when I see, there's something much bigger here.
Right.
That's it. It's my pain, my sadness, but there's something bigger. And you know what? I mean, if there's another child we can save.
And another mom.
In this county, if there's another mother, if there's another father who doesn't have to feel like, I will do it. And in the world, and that's maybe,
Why?
It's not what I asked for, quite frankly. I really just asked to be the mother.
Right.
Didn't ask for the whole package. But if that's it,
There's a children's book that says, don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it happened.
because we got some people to help.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
We have some people to help.
Wait, say it one more time.
We have some people to help.
And then going back to that, just did you have this bigger picture idea? Not necessarily, obviously, this track, but a bigger picture feeling of life prior to this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it was about delivering babies and about, I've never thought small. I've
Right.
always thought big. But I was going to write books and deliver babies and be this and be that. And so this is segue off to the side.
But
On the saving babies.
right, and you are so much more, and you are so much more. All right, folks. I want to say that it is hard for us. Trevor and I, we spend our time listening with love. We're your neighbors. I tell everybody there is no I in team, but there's an I in friends and community and neighbors. And so be that for others. Be the neighbor, be the friend, be the community for others. Bring that community unity. Thank you for listening to us today. We are the remedy. And we believe that in these kind of ways that we help others, we help ourselves understand and not overstand, but understand. And that was taught to me by a third grade kid. So love you all out there, and we'll see you the next time we're on The Remedy.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tori, for being here and being
Thanks, you
available.
guys.
And
Thank you.
It was awesome.
hopefully today provided something. I'm sure it did, but I know
Insight
I'd
and
love
wisdom.
to hear what it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Your next book.
Yeah. Well,
I know,
again,
it doesn't seem like you could do it, but this is something that helps you process because you are a great teacher and professor of healing.
and thank you for being part of the remedy.
Yeah, thank you.
These stories is how you connect, how you reach the parent that has no clue, how you reach the
Right.
teen that has maybe an idea but doesn't necessarily want to do it. But the I hate to say it the way I'm about to say it, but the struggle is real, right? But
Yeah.
when people hear the stories, when they connect, this little moment is what could save a life.
Exactly
Yeah.
correct.
And how?
Exactly
But
correct.
how do we get it out to them?
Well, we start by doing this and waving to the
This is
camera.
how we do it.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
Well, I'm up for it.
I know. You just proved that. You did great.